We're here with Alanna Kalbfleisch and Ian Christiansen, part of the City of Angels cast. Can both of you tell me a little bit about yourselves and your history with TheaterWorks? Alanna?
So I am Alanna. I'm 21 years old. I'm a student at ASU. I'm studying business communication. I have been doing shows with TheaterWorks since I first graduated high school. I was in Ragtime with the incomparable Philip Fazio directing, who happens to also be directing this show.
Amazing.
I think that's a coincidence. Yeah, so that's pretty much the extent of my history with TheaterWorks. I've been in a couple other shows here and there. National Pastime with Ian, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, and the Zony winning show, I Get a Kick Out of Cole, who actually Steve Hildebrand directed that and wrote it and music directed and choreographed. So
Lots.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Ian.
Well, as Alanna already said, our history kind of intertwines, and that was the first time that I worked with Alanna, actually, was on National Pastime. And I'd heard of you, but we hadn't, the legend, the myth. But then we finally worked together, and we've been friends ever since. As far as what goes for me, I'm a teacher at Arizona School for the Arts. So I teach movement and drama and classical theater. I also teach at ASU and colleges around the Valley. And I make terrariums on the side. I have a little side business where I make little kind of sustainable gardens.
Love that.
Inside containers.
Very cool.
I do.
I like that. Can you tell me, both of you, what was it about this show that drew you to be part of it?
Well, for me, it was the incredible team that is putting it all together. Ragtime and Follies were done by the same team of Philip Fazio and Steve Hildebrand, and they just put together this really amazing piece of art that the entire cast can get involved with as well. So it's a really great collaboration process from the rehearsal all the way to the final bow. So I think that's why I was so interested in coming to work for them again.
And for me, Steve Hildebrand was already a plus because we had worked together. And I'd heard so much about Philip because his reputation precedes him, and seen some of his work. I saw Follies and some other stuff. And so when I heard that that was happening, I made sure that I kind of went, hey, I would love to come audition and be considered, that sort of thing. And also because it's a musical that's not done very often, because it's hard. There's a million scenes in it, and you have the two worlds colliding, and the music is really challenging in a good way. So I think it's something that you want a notch on your belt as a musical theater performer.
Can you talk a little bit about how your characters or character might be like you or different, and how was that to kind of develop?
I think both women that I portray are very ambitious. They're both go-getters. They're both very loving and compassionate. One is in love with a man, and the other one is in love with her aspirations, which you will see. And I think that I'm really like that. I'm very goal-oriented, so that's easy for me to connect with. And they're a little bit different from me in that really just the time period is so different than now. I mean, it's difficult to connect with. And they're both secretaries, and I've never been a secretary before. So, yeah.
Stein. I think Stein is a hard worker. I think he's really into what he does. I think he's passionate about what he does. I think he gets a little intense about what he does sometimes. And I think actors get accused of that because they're like, God, you're so Uta Hagen, and I'm like, oh God. But we all take our work seriously. I take my work seriously. He's flirty. I'm flirty, not in this lighting, but I'm flirty. And what else? I think that he gets really excited about what he considers higher status people that get excited about him. It's like, wow, someone believes in me even more, and this could go. And I think he has that dream. I think that part of the show is about having that dream of being in lights, of having fame and everything that comes with it. And you get caught up in that for a moment, but then you start to see like the price tag that comes with that. And when your work starts to get compromised and how it affects your personal life, and it affects his marriage, it affects how he views himself, it affects his kind of, he has this projected image of himself. And so I think when that doesn't match up the way that he wanted to is when things start to get really tricky for him.